The southern port city of Mariupol have refused to bow to Russian demands that they surrender the city. Joining us live now from Lviv is Ukrainian MP Dmytro Gurin. Dmitry, thank you very much for your time this morning. So how much fight has the port city of Mariupol got left in it?
No, the Mariupol now in a medieval siege. There is no heating, electricity, water, gas, any communications, no mobile phones, and there are still 300,000 people inside, and they're out of water and they're out of food now. So they melt snow for water. They some of them have storage, like food in the storage, and some of them are not. And that's totally incredible. I think that all of us having breakfast, we can't imagine that some people who had all of this, that normal life just a month ago, can be now in the situation like you are showing now on the screen. My house looks like what I see now. Where I grew up and lived for 15 years, it's totally burned because it was shot by tanks several times. It's a nice-story building with 200 flats. And people, they prepare food in open fires near these buildings. And, I think it's very hard to imagine that in 2022, people can do something like this with just civilians.
So for those people, those hundreds of thousands of people that you talked about there that are still in Mariupol, that didn't get out when they probably had the chance to, and now they don't have supplies to last them for a very long time, the longer the Russian forces attack Mariupol, what sort of future do they have in the immediate time frame anyway?
It's it's a choice between bad and worse, because Russia says surrender, but we know what's going on occupied territories already during this, during these 3 weeks of war. We have a lot of evidences that, like on the occupied territories, the Russian army just shoot people for fun, and they destroyed Mariupol totally. Yesterday I talked with mayor's office, and 30% of buildings are totally destroyed, and 50% more of buildings are hardly damaged and cannot be restored.
Yeah.
So we don't have 500,000 city anymore. We had a big city with a port, with the factories and manufacturing plants on a seashore, and we don't have it anymore. And it's something that's going on like in 2022. And for somebody, it's going on only on television. But, that in Russia, we have polls. 4 days ago, we had a polls in Russia. And 86% of Russian population agree and support of war with Europe, with European countries. And 75% support the war with Poland. So when we see all of this now on our screens, we have to understand today in Mariupol, like tomorrow in Warsaw, and it looks like it's inevitable now.
Well, there may well be an off-ramp here, and is there any way that Ukraine would accept that Crimea, Donetsk and Luhansk, we still have, Donetsk, Luhansk and Crimea, if they stay in Russian hands, would Ukraine ever accept that if it meant an end to the war?
No. Ukraine will not, and you have to understand that it's not the question for politicians. It's not the question for parliament. By our constitution, it's only the question for people of Ukraine that have to be decided on a referendum, and it's not possible. Ukrainian people will never do it.
Okay. Looking at the pictures of the damage here, and you just spoke about this too, Dmytro, how long would it take Ukraine to repair itself here, and how is Ukraine going to afford it?
It's not the point of how long. It's just the question: you do it or you don't. And we understand that we will do it.
Yeah.
And we understand that in the situation we are now, all our partners, all the countries around the world, and Australia also, saying that they're united with Ukraine now and saying that we will help. and we trust you. And we think that it's a very important story for the world now. You know, it's not acceptable just one country to destroy cities and kill civilians and destroy cities in another country, in a neighbored country. And I think it's a very important story for all the world, just to not let this happen, and to do this mistake, to change the situation and to make Mariupol great again. And I don't know what are the words to say, but if we don't have this city anymore, so we have to build it again. What have we do more?
Yeah, and then beyond that too, you'll have ongoing tensions with Russia, however things look at the end of this, whenever that time comes. But Dmytro Gurin, thank you very much for your time this morning. Really appreciate you spending some time with us. That's the Ukrainian MP speaking to us live from Lviv.